Hey everyone, hope you're all having a great Saturday. And yesterday, with the Bitcoin Reserve executive order by President Trump, it's a huge moment for the industry. And regardless of the market noise, this at least signals that America is finally looking to encourage this sector like never before. Now, on to today's show, I have got a change in content for you. This is my first interview, so bear with me, but trust me, it's a good one. I had the chance to sit down with Jesse D. Williams, the founder of Personal DAO. It's a project that's all about giving communities the power to govern themselves and manage their assets without relying on middlemen or big institutions. Personal DAO has just launched its SNL sale on the Internet Computer Protocol, and Jesse has been working on this for years, funding most of it out of his own pocket. In this conversation, we talk about what this milestone means, the challenges of bootstrapping a decentralized system, and how DAOs could change the way communities manage resources. If you are into ICP, decentralization, or just want to hear from someone who has built something truly unique, stick around. And hey, if you enjoy this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. All right, let's get into it.
Personal DAO is a turnkey DAO.
Mm.
So, what is a DAO? A DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. It's a an organization that exists completely on blockchain,
Mm.
and it can be managed, maintained, governed, controlled without the need for intermediaries.
Okay.
So, personal DAO is one of those, and it's a turnkey DAO solution. So it's a DAO that communities can put together without needing to know how to code. So anybody who has a community, who has a following, who has a group of people that they service in some form or fashion, sort of like you do, without needing to be a coder, you can click a few buttons for a cost of about $60 USD, which is pretty cheap. All things considered, for about $60, you can have a DAO spun up, and you can start onboarding your community. You all can start staking within that DAO. You all
Mm.
can start governing the DAO, how you want it to function and operate. You can do all these things um, as a community, and there's no intermediaries getting in your way, preventing you from, being able to perform a certain function or task. So that's what it is, and what it does is, so what personal DAOs, how they function, but how they the the features that they offer. It's essentially like a cooperative, or
Okay.
like it's a community peer-to-peer lending institution slash cooperative. I understand cooperatives are pretty common in the throughout the developing world, but in the US and the UK and the developed economies, quote unquote,
Okay.
in the developed economies, they're not as common. Cooperatives aren't, because
Mm.
we have again, air quote, mature financial institutions, which I beg to differ, but we have financial institutions. So a lot of people, they don't really rely on cooperatives for that reason. But yeah, so that's what it does. That's what it is. That's what it does. A
Mm.
turnkey that acts as a cooperative for communities, of all shapes and sizes. It could be a church, or a congregation, a business, a small or medium or large enterprise, or it could just be a patriarch of a family who wants to organize his family's finances, and make it so that everybody is you know um taken care of.
Okay. That sounds great.
Thank you.
Mhm. And now Personal DAO is on Launchpad. So, what do you intend to do to raise more awareness to get the maximum out of it? And how big is your team?
I'll answer so what do we plan on doing? So I'll answer the second question first. How big is the team? Thomas, Kamal, Carlos, Meta, myself.
Okay.
And then your second question was, I'm sorry, what was it? How do we plan on
Yeah,
you
how we
raising
do, yeah,
awareness?
raise more awareness.
Yeah, so how we raise awareness. I'm still figuring out that as I go. I do have, I have met, nice people like yourself who have platforms. So Preston Lucas from Coin Nation, he's done an interview. He actually just released it this morning, and we have plans on doing another interview. He has a community of people on YouTube and X, who trust his judgment. So, um, and then there's Bobby O, who's also a key opinion leader within the internet computer space. We'll be doing a spaces event actually tomorrow. I'm supposed to be meeting with another prominent YouTuber within the internet computer ecosystem tomorrow to do an interview. I have another one that I may or may not meet with, depending on certain things. And then Twitter Spaces that I host on Sunday. I'm planning to do a Twitter space for the Latina community, the
Mhm.
people who speak Spanish. And Me, Carlos, and Carlos's wife will
Okay.
go through that space. And then, yeah, plenty of documentation, plenty of community engagement. Just making sure that I'm accessible to people when they have questions is kind of like my best strategy so far.
Mm.
People have plenty of questions, and I want to get every one of them answered so that they can make an informed decision for the launch. So that's been my strategy,
Mm.
and hopefully it works out.
Yeah, it looks like a solid plan.
Thank you.
And it's amazing to hear that you have a dedicated team with lots of experience.
Yeah, I couldn't buy this team. I could not buy this team. They found me.
Mm.
So at the beginning of this project, I was sitting in this seat, working solo for like the first 2 years.
Mm.
And I specifically remember thinking to myself, man, I would really appreciate a team. If I could get, some people who, align with the project and, and they want to help, and that would be great.
So let's say
Yeah.
you get 70,000 ICP from the community. So how do you plan to spend it? And how do you think that investors will benefit from participating in this SNS sale?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Thank you.
So the direct raise is 70,000 ICP, and then there's something called the Neuron Matching Fund, which if we raise the 70,000 ICP, then we'll receive an additional 52,318 ICP from the Neuron Matching Fund, which would bring us up to 122,000 ICP. Half of that is going to be staked in an 8-year neuron that is controlled by the SNS DAO itself. And the rewards from that 8-year neuron are paid out to the DAO token holders. So the people who invest in the launch, they receive DAO token, and just for holding DAO token, they receive rewards from the 8-year neuron that staked.
Mhm.
So it's a liquid staking token. DAO token is a liquid staking token. That's the one way that investors are compensated for their contribution. Just hold the token and you receive rewards from an 8-year stake neuron without having to commit your value within an 8-year stake neuron. Um, Another way investors receive value is through the personal DAO protocol itself. They get the opportunity to actually use it, which is a peer-to-peer lending protocol. So that allows people to stake ICP, and use it as collateral to receive a loan in liquid tokens, but not just ICP. Uh, it allows investors or people who want to borrow. It allows them to put up multiple tokens. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, if you want to cash it out, but you want to tap into the value that it holds, then you can leverage it to get a loan in stable coins. Do what you got to do, pay it back, you get your Bitcoin back. So that's another benefit. And then the token price itself, DAO liquid staking token, over time, as we create more demand for the token, as we onboard more people to personal DAOs, thereby creating more demand for the token, number go up, just like
Mhm.
with Bitcoin. So the DAO token will earn rewards. It'll also, appreciate in value as we create more demand for it. They'll be staked within the 8-year neuron to pay out. Um, they'll be staked within the 8-year neuron to pay out the token holders rewards in the ICP.
Mm.
20% will remain in the treasury, the SNS DAO treasury, and that'll be used so that we can, bootstrap this ecosystem. So different personal DAOs that have communities that need access to liquidity, that need liquidity within their DAOs, that'll be one of the ways in which we can deploy the 20% that's left liquid within the SNS DAO. And then 30% of what's in the SNS DAO, what's raised in the SNS launch, is to be used. So the developer team, the team that I just described to you, will be withdrawing that so that we can have an operating budget. We
Okay.
have more development that needs to be done. There's like a V3 in the user interface that I'm planning on having developed. There's a lot of there's a lot of work to be done between the five of us, and so
Okay.
we'll need an operating budget to be able to make it happen. And yeah,
So 20% is for the treasury and 30% for the developer team.
yeah, really 70% for the treasury.
Okay.
So 20% liquid within the treasury, 50% staked within the treasury, and
Mm.
then 30% for the developing team's operating budget.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yesterday in Spaces, you have mentioned a few projects that use personal DAO. So can you name some of them and what do they do actually?
So yeah, we have one as the development team. We have about 63 people in there. And together people stake ICP. And we're able to use that staked ICP to secure our loans, and also to pay our loans back.
Mm.
So we take out loans when we need them, and we let our staked ICP pay our loans for us. And so we use it, but there's also other people within the ecosystem who have their own personal DAOs deployed. As of now, we're still in beta, and we're still working out some of the kinks that come along with having DAOs deployed to the internet that the developer team doesn't control directly.
Mm.
So these DAOs, they exist on the internet computer. They belong to other communities. It's not that we don't update them without their permission. We can't.
Mm.
So because we don't own them, they're autonomous, and there's no intermediaries. Now what I'm doing is seeing the ways in which these DAO founders need more features that help them to, be able to operate the DAOs in a way that's safe. So sometimes, like data recovery for, in the event that there's a data loss, a way for them to recover their data. Um, you know, uh, Automatic gas replenishment. So when the DAOs run out of gas, they're automatically replenished without anybody having to like remember to do it or explicitly go in and provide gas. So some of these little friction points that pop up, That's what we've been doing with the 17 other DAOs that are on chain.
Mhm.
Um, but we've also been, kind of coordinating with them, educating them on how to use them. And with this next phase of development, we're actually getting ready to start to help them populate those DAOs. So we're we're still in a very nascent phase of development, not development, but rather exit onboarding,
Okay.
adoption. Yeah, we have one that's well populated with 63 people,
Mm.
and then we got 17 other ones that have like one or two people who are still, getting to know the DAO and how to use it, and things of that nature.
Okay, that's really cool to hear. And
Thank you.
okay, then can you give a brief overview of the roadmap?
Yes. So there's plenty of features that I'll be adding to the roadmap. I'll be adding token support for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ERC20 tokens. Uh, so those tokens will be supported within the wallets. So the DAO members have wallets, and then there's a treasury that the DAO has. Um, uh, I'll be adding token support all up and through. So
Mm.
the wallets can actually hold it as a multi-chain wallet, and then the treasury so that the treasury can use multiple tokens from different chains within the protocol, within the peer-to-peer lending protocols.
Okay.
I want to get a V3 for the user interface. So continue to, refine the user interface so that it looks good. Um, uh, I'll be adding liquidity pools, so DAO controlled liquidity pools that allow these personal DAOs to be liquidity providers to DEXs. And what that'll do is solve a major issue that we have within the internet computer ecosystem, where there's not enough liquidity on DEXs, and the liquidity that's there, at any point, it could just be removed from the DEXs without warning. So
Okay.
to resolve that issue, and to provide another revenue source for the DAO, for each personal DAO, we'll be doing liquidity pools. Um, I'll be integrating AI, so having small language models, uh, and potentially in the future, once some of the bottlenecks on the internet computer get resolved, I'll be having larger language models.
Okay.
Um, what else? Uh, yeah, there's more data storage. So make it so that people can actually store, their photos and notes and PDFs, contracts. I'll also be adding um, real world contracts, like so that people can kind of organize an account and collect money for real world contracts. Say if you have a property that you want to develop in the real world and you need to collect funds from the community to be able to do that. And you need to organize it in a way where the agreement is understood and the contributors is known, and uh, you know, I'll be adding features to be able to facilitate that so that we can get real world development. And then yeah, there's a lot that I'm not mentioning. There's no shortage in ideas.
Mhm.
There's plenty of ideas.
So this is the final question. Only 10 minutes left, I think. So, where do you see yourself and personal DAO in next few years?
In the next few years, I would like to see, the protocol, the ecosystem sustainable, meaning we don't need any external liquidity injections. We don't need, more investments or to do any more fundraisers. Everybody's making money. Nobody's even thinking about me because there's no issues.
Mm.
When people are looking when people are looking for leadership, that typically means there's a lot of excitement, and that could be positive, or it could be negative, meaning, the excitement is from issues arising. So
Mm.
I would like for it, there to be no excitement around the protocol because it's just running in the background, it's doing what it's supposed to do. People are making money. Nobody knows who the creator is, just like nobody knows who the creator of, I don't know, the touch screen. Nobody thinks about who created touch screens,
Yeah.
uh, but everybody uses it. So I would like for that to be the case within the next few years.
Mm.
Just having a robust ecosystem that can support and sustain itself. Developers have all the tools that they need to support and sustain the ecosystem without having any central authority or leadership within the ecosystem. And letting this thing have a life of its own,
Mm.
where it can converge to uh, whatever the will of the users is.
Okay.
That's I don't know if it'll take 3 years, if it'll take 10 years, if it'll take 20 years. It doesn't matter to me how long it takes. I'm here for the long run until the,
Mm.
the work is done. But that's what I would like to see the project.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your journey and the vision behind the personal DAO. It was a great conversation. And do you
Thank
have
you.
any final thoughts before we sign off?
Yeah, thank you for for your interest, for the good questions,
Thank
for uh, introducing me to your community and for introducing your community to me. And I'm hoping that we can work together. I would like to get you onboarded to a personal DAO, and then I would
you.
eventually like to get you your own personal DAO
We are
so
planning
that
for it. If everything goes well, we will use personal DAO.
that's great. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to keeping in touch and interacting and engaging some more as we continue to fill out the roadmap.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse, for your time. And best of luck for you and your team with the next phase of personal DAO.
Thank you.
All right, that's a wrap for today's show. A huge thank you to Jesse D. Williams for taking the time to share his journey and insights on personal DAO. It's great to see how our vision can turn into a journey that could truly empower communities. If you found today's conversation interesting, or if you are curious about how DAOs can transform the way we manage resources, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps shape the content, so I would love to hear what you think. If you would like to support the show, feel free to make a donation to the Ledger Life wallet. Details are in the description below. Every bit helps us keep bringing you valuable content. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Have an amazing weekend, everyone.